And to have this conversation with us is Martin Kamau. Welcome to the show.
Okay, thank you Mwikari.
Mambo ya sako umemwoni unataka kuja kuambia leo.
Yes,
Kwa sababu vijana wanaingia, waingii.
You know, it's the 1st of December.
Yes.
And just after December, we'll have something they call January.
That is so true. That is so true.
So actually, the show comes in the best of times.
Great.
Because we're getting in 2 trying months.
That's
a month with over 10 or 12 holidays.
Yes,
holidays,
that is true. Mingi sana zimejaa kwa hii mwezi. And just before we get into, SACCOs, maybe you can introduce yourself.
Yes.
Let us know what it is that you do before we get into matters SACCO.
Yeah, okay. My name's Martin Kamau, and I run a management consultancy firm we call Kamau and Associates, management consultancy. My specialization is on auditing institutions, especially the SACCOs, the NGOs, some bits of SMEs, 2 ones strategies, 2 ones plans, 2 ones policies. I'm a former banker. Actually worked at KCB, then I worked longest time in Cooperative Bank. So it is at Cooperative Bank where the SACCOs picked me up from, and we started working together. And we are working all over the country because SACCOs are all over in the country, from Kisumu to Kwale to Meru to all over here in Nairobi. Yeah. So we have an office here in Nairobi and another office in Meru for Mount Kenya region, since that's the hub of the cooperative sector.
Okay.
Yes.
And maybe we can just get into what a SACCO is, what it does, for anyone who's just tuned in and they're like, huh? I keep hearing these things, but I don't have a clear explanation of what it is and what it does.
Yeah. The SACCO, the one SACCO is an abbreviation for those who don't know. It means Savings and Credit Cooperatives. It's a financial institution that you do savings and get credit if you wish for credit, that is. So their core business is saving, receiving people's deposits through a deposit account or through a share capital account, and advancing credits. So that's basically what SACCOs do. Okay. And we have so many categories of SACCOs. We have teacher-based SACCOs, we have agri-based SACCOs, we have employee SACCOs, we have marketing SACCOs. So basically it all begins with the word cooperative, ushirika, where 2, 3, 4, 5 people come together with a common financial goal. They come in together and start saving or start investing to buy a land. They start investing for maybe even a trip somewhere. That's a cooperative. But now what we do more is the financial cooperatives. Okay. Because we have agri-cooperatives and financial cooperatives. Okay. Agri-cooperatives are people who produce, processed and packaged milk, coffee, tea. But now we are more on savings and credit cooperatives. People who deal with the money.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. And who is in the right probably age bracket to be in this? What does it take for one to be a part of, a SACCO?
Initially, SACCO started with our grandparents.
That's true.
It started with our grandparents, and our generation, actually the 40 years and below, most of us have not bought into the idea, because we call them the institutions for our wazees, institutions for our parents, institutions for our grandparents. But right now, we have seen other financial institutions coming through that are now taking advantage of especially the youth. Yes. We have the mobile e-lenders, where you just log in and get some money. You go 5, 10 companies in a day and give you money you're not even able to repay. So we've lost we've watered away that aspect of walking a journey with a financial institution, and the SACCOs do more on that. Okay. The SACCO will walk with you a journey. You don't walk in a SACCO today and get the money today. You first of all have to have a relationship, just like the banks. You see, so these are institutions that are inputting in you some value, just beyond you getting money and beyond them taking your money as savings. They walk with you the journey of, they call it member education. They teach you how to invest, how to save, how to assess better or better interest loans, loans that don't have much interest like the ones you're having on mobile. So it's an institution that most youth have been shunning away from, but we are pushing the narrative that the best savings and credit institutions right now for the SACCO, for the youth, it is the SACCO. And actually major SMEs, major corporates in the country, they are now investing in the SACCOs because the SACCOs are member-owned. They are not owned by an individual. Yes. They are member-owned. Secondly, there's an aspect of few cartels or few pyramid schemes that come in with the look and feel of a
Well, the
SACCO.
SACCO,
You've heard of some, we can't mention names here,
no,
so
we
we
will
will be
not.
sued. So we've had a number of them actually
Yes.
recently that they ask you, bring your money, they know SACCOs do savings, and savings
Yes.
is about depositing money. So these pyramid schemes come with a promise now over and above just saving. We are doing greenhouse, we are doing some land somewhere, we are buying people some vehicles, but they have no physical offices, they are not regulated, So that aspect has also pushed away the youth. But now we have had a ministry that has really worked very hard the last 5 years to streamline the law on the SACCOs after the cases of the upheaval went high. So we have a regulator actually. The SACCOs are regulated independently. We know we have CBK that regulates banks and MFIs.
Yes.
Now we have an independent body called SASRA, which regulates the SACCOs, and they issue licenses. So wewe before uende weke 100,000 yako kwa SACCO fulani, you need to see where is their license. Are they a deposit taking or are they a non-deposit taking? We have major categories. The story of SACCOs can be done with up to 3 hours, but I know we have a short time.
Yes.
But all of them, the deposit-taking SACCOs that have holding 100 million plus deposits. Imagine 100 million deposits, and they are very small. Many of them in Nairobi actually. They are now regulated by SASRA, and we have now those ones that have the look and feel of a bank. You can walk in, you can see tellers, you can have the look and feel for a normal bank. Those ones we call them the forces, front office, or the deposit-taking SACCOs. Yeah?
Okay.
You can get
I'm getting schooled.
You're
I'm getting schooled.
So these are institutions that can give you an ATM card. You can access money on your mobile. You can go on an ATM. You can even go right now, apply a loan on a portal, wherever you are, and get money. You can even have a guarantor in Kisii, another one in Kisumu, another one in Likoni, signing there for you online. So this is the talk that we are really working hard to raise up the standards of the SACCOs as they used to be, because we know if we have to grow our economy, may it be bottom up, top bottom, wide, middle, outside, whichever. If we invest well with the SACCOs, we've touched the man at the bottom of that pyramid. We have touched the boda guy. We have touched the mama boga. We have touched the young man who doesn't have a payslip to work in a bank. Probably you just work in one bank here and you show your nice payslip, and at the end of the day you have your loan. But the other people who banks don't listen to because they don't have something to show. Yeah, so that's why we are raising the narrative that SACCOs can be groomed to raise our economy. And we've seen we're almost leading in Africa actually. Most people are coming here to benchmark. We are now receiving calls from major countries to go and do consultancy. People who don't have the structures at all. So it's a kind of a niche market for me. And now doing this from the experience of the banking sector, we're able to walk the journey with them.
Great.
Yes, and I assure the youths that their money is safe on those
because
SACCOs.
that is key for them to feel and understand that nobody's taking their money from them.
Sure.
And because it's also a generation that is very microwavy, where they want ninaeka pesa alafu napata. So there's also the aspect of if I want to get a loan from a SACCO, so maybe we can talk about that, because there's a certain percentage that you are sort of like entitled to, different from one SACCO to the other.
Sure. So what happens with the SACCOs is I've seen there are several categories of SACCOs. You have agri-produce SACCOs, those that came from maybe the tea sector, daily,
agriculture
coffee.
Generally.
These ones, they treat your earnings on coffee or your milk as your payslip now. It's what you earn. Yeah? Then every other SACCO has what we call a share capital. A share capital is the shares, normal shares. Maybe one share is 1,000 shillings, or maybe one share is 100. They have a minimum. Maybe if you go and deposit 100,000 of shares, worth of shares, there are those SACCOs will give you times 3, times 4 of, I think the one that I've known is which gives times 4 maximum of those particular shares or deposits, where you are now able to guarantee yourself with guarantors if your money is more than the share capital. Or now the narrative that I'm really pushing for young men now who want to put money today and get money today. There's a narrative where very simplistic.
Is that possible? Is it working now, or is it something that you're working towards?
No, what I want to say is we have a platform, or not a platform, a narrative where you've done some business somewhere. You've gotten like 300,000. You have no plan of this money. Yeah? Just go take it to a SACCO, lock it as shares,
Okay.
Then, in the course, even after 2 weeks, or even the next day, you now say, hey, I've had a nice idea. I didn't have it yesterday. So my money is the bank. This idea needs 250,000 or 200,000. You just go to that bank and receive that money as a loan. You get.
Okay.
You won't need guarantors. Actually, it is just a form that you're gonna fill. You live with the money. Yeah. So it is your money working for you. You get. Then you remember your share capital of 300,000 is still intact. That one is not withdrawable. It's just that they have led you on basing on on your shares.
On share capital, yeah.
Meaning you're getting a loan at a very cheaper rate, maybe even 8%. You see. So you service that with 2-3 years. Now, at the end of the year, you still gain what they call dividends. These SACCOs pay dividends. That's what I'm doing with the SACCOs. A SACCO will announce dividends, maybe 10% of that 300 Gs. So you'll get 30,000 at the end of the year. Next 1 year, if you still, your money is still there, you still get another 30,000. So it's a multiplier effect actually. Share capital can, or the deposits that you have at the SACCO can be used as a multiplier effect for money, which is an awesome idea actually. For I've seen Mama Bogas who go and deposit 10,000, and he gets in his mobile USSD. For the SACCO, gets a loan of 6,000 without going around filling papers. He goes to the SACCO in the morning, Marigiti, buys a stock worth that 6,000. Goes back to his shop, sells at the end of the day, returns that money at a very small interest rate. You don't need even to go to that particular SACCO. So we are saying we have automated these SACCOs to an extent that it is self-service.
Okay.
Yep.
So some of the things that we need to look at as young people before joining a SACCO is if they're licensed.
Definitely, the license is the key
Does
one.
it matter how long it's been in operation?
It's needful because it's needful so that you get to understand the capacity of the SACCO you're dealing with. You may have a SACCO that has been registered last year. You need to understand their dynamics, you know, who are the members, you know. And a SACCO, you need at least to know, we have talked of guarantorship. Maybe people don't understand what guarantorship is.
Please, maybe you can expound on that.
When you're going to get a loan and you have maybe shares of 100,000 and you need 400 Gs, that's the multiplier effect I said they're giving you times 4. So you'll need people with those shares that will cover that particular loan to guarantee you. You can get even 10 or 50. So you find people go to a SACCO as a group so that they guarantee each other. But there is that other model that I've explained of self-guarantorship. If you have that liquid, you are liquid enough. So you need to know again who are the members. Say for after the license, you need to know who are members, because initially we had SACCOs that are like we have Kenya Police, which used to be police for police only, STEMA, which used to be for STEMA KPLC people. But now they have opened what we call the chat, and business people, young men can join. But you need to know at least 3, 4, 5 people who have been in it. What are the dynamics? How do they, how do they operate? When do they do the AGM? SACCOs do an annual general meeting where all members are invited. Most banks don't do that, or they do it live, or it's just some few people will gather. But for a SACCO, they put actually their financials open. A SACCO that doesn't report, doesn't hold an AGM, that definitely raises a red flag. So those are some of the aspects to look. First of all, start with the registration certificate or the license, then their dynamics. You get to know even their policies. Their policies are accessible. I want to see your credit policy. I want to see your all other policies that are needful. The SACCO should give information actually to members through what we call member education. A SACCO that doesn't train its people, its members, either online or live, or physically, that's definitely raises some red flag. It means wanajificha nyuma some institutions. Then the most common one in Nairobi, you'll find some small things called SACCOs. Iko kwa ghorofa ya 10, ka ofisi tu kadogo. But they're asking you to go out and deposit 100 Gs. No, you'll do that 10
do
of you.
Do your due diligence before giving your money to...
due diligence. And that's why now we have a law that really protects people's deposits and also protects the face of the SACCO movement.
Absolutely. We have a question here for you.
Yes.
Good morning, Full Circle with Mikali. My name is Omondi Timon. I'm enjoying the show. I recently joined a SACCO na kidogo sina discipline ya kusave. Any advice, nitashukuru? Getting you loud and clear from Mombasa Road.
The good thing with the SACCOs is they instill that discipline to you. As I said, they are savings and credit cooperatives. There are SACCOs that you open an account they will require you to do a deposit either weekly, either monthly, or even daily. It depends on the kind of accounts they have. I've seen and know some idea from, actually these are some ideas that we are thinking of, because as a consultant you have to sit down and think.
Yes.
And propel these ideas. We've come up with some models where we encourage the Boda guys to save 100 shillings per hour. 100 shillings per hour.
Okay.
So a guy was working from 6 a.m. up to 6 p.m. How many hours? Those around 8 hours. The guy is saving maybe 100 if it's in Nairobi. In the village they're saving 50, because they can do it on mobile, they can walk to an agent, deposit. So it depends what kind of an account you have. For you to gain discipline, you also have to be guided and even be disciplined in a way. You can go and open an account that if you don't deposit this, then you lose some value, you see.
That's true.
So it's all about self-discipline and even having someone else now to help you out. You can go talk to your circle around and they can encourage you on how you do that.
Okay.
One big challenge on saving is if you join a circle that doesn't have the channels to, sometimes when the money is in pocket, it says here and ikifika jioni hawa vijana wanapiga tu sherehe nayo.
Yeah.
So the aspect of walking all the way to that circle and probably it's miles away or kilometers away,
yes,
that could be his challenge. But
okay,
if you have the mobile banking, all of them have mobile banking. They have
okay,
agents. It's so easy for you.
So we have about a minute before I let you go. Maybe we can
Yes.
talk about you exiting the circle before we get to your aspirations in politics.
Yep.
So when I want to withdraw all of my money, I'm done with this account, I want to take it out. Is it okay? I just walk in. Is there a notice for that to happen?
There's a notice. There's a notice of a maximum of 3 months actually.
Okay.
For you to withdraw your shares. Shares are actually transferred. They're not withdrawn. You can just not walk in and withdraw. That's what I'm saying. When you get into a circle, no, it's a long-term approach. Don't just get there to just go play around. That's why I'm saying you need to do your due diligence well.
Yes.
Because circles, to withdraw that money, you have to have it has to be distributed to someone else for you to get that money.
Okay.
If we allow 8 people to withdraw money wherever they feel and whenever they feel, but now there are 2 kind of accounts.
Okay.
Shares, then deposits.
Yes.
All right. So I think we'll have to do another part.
You said we need 3 hours for this, but maybe you can just quickly mention your aspirations.
Yeah. So as I said, I'm a young man, and you can see we have the ideas of running our economy, and we know next year where we are really heading is an election period.
Yes.
We're having a new government, new
Yes.
leadership, new economic model to come in place. I don't know if it's bottom up, if it's mid or out, if it's top bottom. So my people from Meru.
Yes.
Antoba Meru Mugeni. This is a camera. Central Imenti residents Mugeni Bobui. Najua wananijua because I'm always down there actually. Yes. So I'm vying for the Central Imenti MP seat. We need to bring in new faces. We need to bring in the youth. To wait your kureta and to buy an idea of the country and your constituency. And I presented myself, my candidature for you people to consider us, and let's work together to raise our people. I know they are farmers, and through the cooperative movement, they need someone who understands the circle movement to raise up. Thank you, Mwikali, for the show. Although my people from Imenti Central will have an issue switch because of the timing.
Wacha watu waambie. Sasa hizi tunafaa kulipa bills.
Yes.
We'll be right back after this very short commercial break.